Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mars conjunct Jupiter in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, if you have Mars conjunct Jupiter in a natal chart, there may be a very intense drive and motivation, which is Mars, to expand horizons, which is Jupiter. Now, let's say if you have Jupiter in Taurus as an example, you may expand horizons in a very deliberate, methodical, and plotting manner. It may be done doing something Taurus related, whether it could be architecture, gardening, cultivation, geology, carpet laying, doing something with stocks, as a stockbroker or a pawnbroker. It may be something with art or music, as some examples. And also, too, Mars conjunct Jupiter may manifest in, could be enlarging issues. Enlargement is Jupiter, could be with the head, the skull, the face, the blood, or sexual organs, which is Mars. Now, let's say, if you have, Mars, in Aquarius, as an example, those issues, maybe, sporadic, erratic, intermittent, maybe nerve-related. Mars, if you have Mars in Gemini, the issues may be more superficial is another example. Mars in Aries could be more, sharp, quick, abrupt, shooting kind of pain. Also, too, there may be physical related, which is Mars issues connected with the thighs, the sciatic nerve, liver, or pancreas, which is Jupiter. And again, using Aquarius as an example, Jupiter in Aquarius may be more sporadic, erratic, intermittent, nerve-related issues. Capricorn may be more connected with older age. They may be more consistent issues. As an example. And another thing too is that you may, having this aspect, you may have an exorbitant, which is Jupiter, because again it has the proclivity to enlarge things, amount of energy, physical vitality and energy, which is Mars. If say, if Mars is in Gemini, the energy may be expended doing manifold, variety of things. It could be doing things like communication, short journeys, mobility, doing things that are associated with manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics, as some examples. And also, too, sexual partners, which is Mars. May be very jovial, jocular, optimistic, expansive, and reckless, which is Jupiter. Now, let's say if you have Mars in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, sexual partners, one or more, may actually be a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be those that are very sensitive, nurturing, protective, dedicated, devoted, tenacious, but may also be, moody, fickle, and temperamental, may be overly emotional and sensitive to criticism and ridicule, as some examples. Now, another thing too is that you may be exceptionally enthusiastic and exuberant, which is Jupiter, in terms of taking action, which is Mars, in matters. Now, let's say, if Mars is in Scorpio, as an example, you may take, be enthusiastic in taking action in matters connected with crisis or upheaval, or if a major change or transformation has to be made. It could be matters pertaining, to insurance, taxes, wills, estates, as some examples. And also, too, another way Mars conjunct Jupiter may be expressed in a natal chart is that in-laws and foreigners, which is Jupiter, may be very aggressive, assertive, forceful, courageous, combative, and volatile. Even volatile comes, which is Mars. Now, if you have, let's say, Jupiter in Leo as an example, in-laws and foreigners, one or more may actually be a Leo sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody the traits of the sign. It could be, those that are gregarious, extroverted, flamboyant, showy, attention-seeking, generous, magnanimous, but could also be, at times, maybe arrogant, egotistical, or bombastic and domineering as well. And another thing about this is that you may expend, much vitality, which is Mars, in matters associated with religion, higher education, sports, foreign travel, and publishing, which is Jupiter. Now, let's say, if you have, Jupiter, in Aquarius as an example, if you're into publishing, you may be publishing things associated with astrology, astronomy, humanitarian, altruistic endeavors, aviation, meteorology, innovation, electronics, computers, as some examples. If another example is, let's say, Jupiter is in Sagittarius, higher education courses may be tied in publishing, advertising, printing press operation, sports. It could be connected with something with foreign travel, or doing something with or learning to be college teacher, theology, philosophy, as some other examples. Now, another thing too is that you may be exceptionally optimistic, which is Jupiter, in matters that involves battles, which is Mars, whether they may be verbal or physical ones. So, if you have Mars in Gemini, it could be battles with neighbors, or siblings. It may be matters pertaining to slander, as some battle connected would be slandered, forgery, that maybe somebody did something, that forged your name somehow, or, it could be doing, maybe somebody did something mischievous at your expense, as an example, let's say Mars is in Sagittarius, there may be battles over philosophical, religious viewpoints as another example. And another thing, too, is that the sexual urge, Mars may be very prodigious, very large, which is, Jupiter. Now, let's say, going to Mars in Gemini as an example, there may be a sexual attraction to those that are younger, or have something very youthful and vivacious about them, people that are very, could be, vivacious, animated, people that are loquacious, well-rounded, multifaceted, as some examples. And it could also be that there may be involvement in combative sports in some instances. Mars is combative, sports is connected with Jupiter, whether combative sports can include karate, wrestling, judo, boxing, as some examples. Now, let's say, Jupiter is in Taurus, there may be more persistence connected with this as an example. It may be, done with more, more methodical, deliberate manner. The thing is, another way that Mars conjunct Jupiter may manifest in the natal chart is there may be prosperity, which is Jupiter. It could be in surgery, leadership position, law enforcement, or sports, which can all be connected with Mars. Now, the thing is, let's say have, Mars and Sagittarius, and maybe more specific sports connected with archery or darts or anything that involves targets. Mars and Gemini, maybe more the quick reaction sports such as badminton, racquetball, or table tennis as some examples. And also, too, another way Mars conjunct Jupiter may be expressed in a natal chart is that you may be very impatient and waste a little time, which is Mars and Jupiter-related matters in general. Whether it could be publishing, advertising, religion, philosophy, publishing, advertising, things that are sports-related, the outdoors, as some examples. And let's say if Jupiter is in Capricorn, there may be an interest in publishing things connected with the government or politics, or even construction, or architecture, things that are just connected with attaining greater social status and stature in life, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, everyone, saying stay well.